What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the New York Knicks MyLeague. Now, I apologize because I did intend to have this episode out yesterday. However, I got busy on Sunday, which would be the day before I would have put the video up. I got busy on Sunday with the Super Bowl, and there was a hockey game my team, the Capitals, played, and then I watched the NBA game in the afternoon between the Clippers and the Miami Heat. So I did not find any free time throughout the day. This was on top of having to complete a couple of assignments for coursework during the week as well. So I did not get time on Sunday to edit or record the commentary. I edited it today as I had a few hours in the middle of the day that I did not have anything going on that was super important. So I found the free time to edit this and commentate it. So here we are early on in the first quarter, and the Clippers are down 6-3. The Knicks are up 11-6 now in this highlight right here. As you can see, a lot of ball movement. Bradley to Porzingis over to the corner to Jaren Grant, and he is going to hit that three. And now a nice dish to the skeleton of Paul Pierce. He misses the jump shot, but DeAndre Jordan on the offensive glass puts that one back up and in. And now J.J. Redick missing a shot. This would be rebounded by Porzingis, that time boxing out the smaller Jordan. And it is going to be a dish on the fast break to Avery Bradley. Not fouled on this play. I thought he should have been, but he was not. J.J. Redick hitting a three right there, or a long two, excuse me, right there. And now he is playing the role of playmaker as he dishes it down low to DeAndre Jordan, who dunks that one home. And now it's just a 6-point game as Chris Kaman pulls up for two right here. Kaman off the bench and had a few key points for the Clippers as he had a couple dunks in a row, or a couple shots in a row. Right here is a big dunk by Bismack Biyombo. Good play right there to see that the court was way open in front of him. And I did not intend to pass to Bismack Biyombo right there. I was actually trying to go out to the three-point lane for Nick Young, but he dunks all over down low. And now Chris Paul with a tough pull-up jump shot down in the low post. 32-24, and now he makes a floater over the head of Kelly Olynyk. So that is a couple rough plays in a row, but Bismack on the slam again. A nice dish again from Raymond Felton. He would have a big night. Not as big as the night he had before. I believe he had 10 assists in game one. That actually might have been this game now that I think about it. JJ with a big two right there, and now he's down low, and he is going to make that shot from the low post. 4-point game, as that's a turnover by Raymond Felton. I thought that the turnovers in this game are a little ridiculous. You cannot pass the ball, unless it's someone also on the perimeter, or you're passing into a low post like an entry pass. It's really hard to pass the ball. The players just sit in the passing lanes. That's a nice play by Carmelo right there. These players just sit in the passing lanes and wait for you to throw the ball their way. And the way the passing is in this game, the directional pass is super broken. And it almost never goes to the person that you actually want it to go to, and it usually results in a turnover. So that's why a lot of times you'll see that I have a lot more turnovers than the other team, at least in the first half. It seems to be that way. But the Clippers made it a 3-point game now that I'm done rambling. This is going to be down low to Porzingis, and he actually makes a low post shot. I had kind of gotten away from going to him in the low post unless it was a post up on a much smaller player. But he does make that one over DeAndre, I believe. And now that is going to be a nice pick and roll play. Bismack Biyombo putting it in down low. Not dominating in the way he usually does on the glass and on defense, blocking shots and altering shots at the rim. He's been a big offensive threat so far on that pick and roll. Now Avery Bradley gets a screen, and J.J. Redick cannot keep up with him. By the way, big shout out to J.J. Redick. One, his tattoos are pretty sweet, and two, his podcast for The Vertical is also pretty good. I've listened to the first couple episodes that are out by this point, and both of them have been pretty good. I'm surprised at his actual ability to already develop a media personality while still playing is a big thing for him. And I'm a huge podcast listener, especially at work, so it's a nice, refreshing break to see a podcast from someone who's actually still playing the game and not either a former player or an analyst. And I say that as J.J. Redick ties up the game right there. Now Chris Paul stepping up for a two, and he will give the Clippers the lead, something they have not had for quite a while. Now Melo driving in, going to miss that one, and that is going to be rebounded by Blake Griffin. Out to Paul, and then over to Redick, who is going to pull up for two once again. 4-point game now, 5-point game later on. And this is going to be over to Melo for three, and the 82-year-old skeleton of Paul Pierce cannot block that one, and so it's going to go in for three. But there's a three by J.J. Redick that is also going to go in and gets the Clippers lead back up to 6. And now Avery Bradley with a three of his own. Those two went back and forth quite a bit. the one would hit a three, then the other would hit a three off a screen. Bradley not necessarily the best creator off the dribble, so we tend to not. Look at that dumb turnover by Trevor Booker, by the way. And now Melo's going to give it up to Jaren Grant. Pretty much the only time he ever scores is on fast breaks, because I don't run drives with him a lot because he missed a lot of layups earlier in the season in clips that I didn't show you. But now Melo driving to the lane, and he's going to get that one to go. Gets it just down to a 2-point game. And now Blake Griffin with a couple post moves gets blocked by Kristaps Porzingis. And now Bradley over to Melo is going to put it in on the fast break. We're getting that going. Once again, it was very successful for us during the regular season. Chris Paul, one dribble pull-up three. I thought that was a little ridiculous that he was able to get that much space. But Kelly Olynyk now down low to Bismack, and Bismack is going to have 10 points. He still only has, I think, 2 or 3 rebounds. But it's a 1-point game now, and now it's a fast break. Nick Young lobbing it up to KJ McDaniels, who has been a pretty good contributor this playoffs, especially this finals. I believe he had double-digit points in the first game, or a big game in the conference finals. It was one of those two. The games kind of run together sometimes because I usually play them, and then I don't remember what happened. I remember vague events happening in the playoffs, but I don't remember fully like what happened in every game because it takes so long between the games. I don't play these games I don't sit down and just play them back to back like I used to. I don't have a lot of time even to record anymore, so it's just kind of, some of these games just run together because I don't remember when certain events happen. But JJ Redick with I thought that was a three. I guess he had a foot on the line, but it was one dribble pull up three. And now Kristaps Porzingis on the screen, he's going to roll to the basket, and it's just a 2-point game. Chris Paul pulling up, and he's going to give them a big two. He had a big game late in the fourth quarter the other day against Miami. For any of you that saw the game, he hit a couple big threes late, and it was a lot like vintage Chris Paul, which I really don't think we've seen in a couple years. But there's a nice play to get Melo the ball, and he's going to shoot that mid-range, pretty much his wheelhouse right there. And now he's going to be wide open for three. JJ Redick isn't even near him, and he's not going to be able to catch him in the air either. It's a 4-point game, and this inbound pass is going to be stolen by the Knicks, and it is going to end up in the hands of Kristaps Porzingis after a nice dish from Melo. And it's going to make it a 6-point game. Bad turnover by the Clippers, and Porzingis is going to get another big 2 points right there on that dunk. And now Bismack blocking that shot, but it gets all the way back up to the perimeter on JJ Redick. I did not mess with my defensive settings that game. I usually change defensive settings throughout the game, but I didn't for some reason. Then I think I was in a hurry to actually play the game, and it's why JJ Redick kept getting open over and over again. As you see JJ Redick actually altering that shot, that dunk by Kristaps Porzingis, it was pretty funny actually. And then Melo does not jump at all to deflect that Blake Griffin lob pass, so it's going to be a 3-point game. But Porzingis is wide open on the other end, and you know the Knicks with the open floor. A lot of our points come off fast break, and that was one of them. A big block on Blake Griffin right there, but he picks up the ball and puts it right back up to make it a 3-point game again. And now they're going to make that shot to make it a 1-point game, and the Knicks will have the ball. Now Melo driving in, turns around, spinning fadeaway jumper, another signature Anthony shot, and he's going to make that one. And then Chris Kaman getting blocked. I would have just shot that if I was Blake. And a 2-on-1 chance. Avery Bradley's going to dunk it home to make it a 5-point game. And then the Clippers will miss their next shot, and Melo get the ball back. Paul Pierce does poke it away, but he would put his head down and go to the rim and seal this win for the Knicks in Game 3 of the NBA Finals. That'll put the Knicks up 2-1. I'm not going to spoil. I have simulated up to the next game I'm going to play. I'm not going to spoil what happens, but this is going to end up being a very important game later on, as we do get a win in LA to put us up 2-1 after the Clippers took the first game. I probably should have mentioned that at the beginning of the episode. The Clippers did win the second game by, I believe, about 20 points roughly. Our defense did not play very well. We were not containing JJ Redick or Blake Griffin at all, and I believe Chris Paul had about 15 assists in that game too. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoy. Next game will be also in the NBA Finals. I decided not to spoil it at the end. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoy. See you later.